So this is what we are going to be talking about today, the lodestone. This is a fancy way to find out where you are in the Nether, in the end, and technically in the overworld as well. Before we get started though, huge thank you to those of you who are YouTube members. You guys rock. Thank you so much for your support. Also, I want to quickly mention that we have a brand new poster, the Nether 1.16 poster, up for sale at helloomg.com. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. So please check it out in all of its amazing glory. Once again, helloomg.com. So this is the lodestone, and as you saw before, all it really does is link a compass to a specific point in space, and this will work in the overworld as well. So the end, the Nether, the overworld, all those places a lodestone will work. The compass normally in the overworld only will point to the spawn of that world, but now using a lodestone, you can link a compass, which is like right now pointing over there somewhere, to anywhere that you want. And it keeps creating new lodestones for me, and that is because I'm in creative. So if you are in survival, which we'll switch into right now, if you click on a lodestone, it just links the compass that you have in your hand to that lodestone. So how do you actually get a lodestone? Well, you can craft one, and the crafting recipe is thusly. You need to make first a netherite ingot, which requires 4 netherite scrap. Netherite scrap is got from ancient debris, which is at the bottom of the nether. If you just mine around, you'll find some. And gold, which will give you a netherite ingot. You also need chiseled stone bricks. So how do you get that? Take normal stone, which you can get from either a silk touch pick, or you can get it from having cobble inside of a furnace. Make that into stone bricks. Take those stone bricks and make them into slabs. When you have those slabs, put them on top of each other, and that is how you get chiseled stone bricks. So then take your ingot, put it in the middle, put chiseled stone bricks around it, and your output will be a lodestone. You can also find lodestones in the world. You can find them inside of bastion remnants. Now, they are only located in the bridge treasure loot. So whatever bastion remnant that you have, you need to find a bridge, and hopefully that bridge will have a treasure chest, and then inside of that, hopefully it will have a lodestone. Inside of this one, yeah, we just have bone block because this really isn't a bridge right here. So you can find them if you don't want to go through the process of making them. That netherite ingot is rather expensive. It is hard to find the ancient debris that you need in order to make the lodestone, and so finding one would be nice, but I've found 3 bastion remnants in this world, and none of them have had a bridge attached to them, which is a little frustrating, which means that you may have a difficult time finding a lodestone in the world if you're just trying to get it through the bastion remnant. Okay, so now you know how to get one. Why would you even use it? Like, what? Like, okay, this is good. Like, what's the practical use of a lodestone? So practically, this is a great way to not ever need to use F3 to get from place to place. Let's say you had another portal. Okay, I made it easy. Now you don't have to imagine. It's right there. So you have a portal and you want to be able to find this. In the past, what you would probably do is take a screenshot of your coordinates to get back here. And that's not really easy to triangulate exactly where those coordinates were. I always open up F3 and then kind of do this weird like shimmy to figure out, okay, that number's going down. Okay, this number's going down as well. Okay, so if I want to head over there, I go this way. And it is rather frustrating. So using a lodestone makes that way simpler. You just click on the lodestone with a compass. Now you have a compass that it is easy to follow and get to wherever you're going. Okay, I know I need to head in this direction to get to the portal. Now, one thing that is a little frustrating is that lodestones do not link between dimensions. So now that I am in a new dimension, I'm in the overworld, this compass doesn't know which way to point. So if you are going to have another portal you would have to have another lodestone compass. And that does bring me to another point, which is that lodestones can be renamed. So I may want to say overworld portal, and now that is the name of that compass. And when I hover over it, it's very easy to tell, yep, that is the overworld portal compass. And then this one is the nether portal compass. So I can easily tell between all of my compasses what they actually point to. And this would be useful also if maybe you say had a compass that pointed to a biome or a structure, and you could have a whole bunch of these pointing to different locations so that you could know how to get over to them. So we're back in the overworld, and I have 3 different lodestones and 3 compasses that are pointing to each lodestone. And it looks exactly how it is, how we have 1 lodestone there, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the right. And so on my left compass, that points to the left, center is to center, and right is to right. If you destroy a lodestone, so the actual block of the lodestone, then the compass that is associated with that block starts to spin. It does not have a place to connect to anymore. Also, if I switch back over to survival mode and I put down a new lodestone and then link that center one, which doesn't have a lodestone anymore, to it, it will work just fine. So even though it is already a glowy lodestone compass, that doesn't mean that it can't be linked another time to another portal. Now, what is interesting is that this can be interrupted by inventory, not the player's inventory, but any inventory basically other than the player. So right here in front of me, I have 3 different types of inventory. One is a chest, and that has the center lodestone compass. The one on the left has the left lodestone compass, and that is a dispenser. And then the one on the right has the right lodestone compass, and that is in an item frame. So what's interesting is, let's say the right lodestone here. So if I actually move around, and you can see how that compass down there is pointing in different directions. Wherever I enter this dispenser from, that is actually the way that that compass will point. So if it is behind me, that compass will still point behind me. You can see that they match. And that is true even if I get rid of all of these compasses out of my inventory. If that thing is behind me and I open this, it will point basically behind me. And if I walk over to the front, it'll point to the right, which is pretty cool. So whatever way you are facing that chest, that lodestone compass will face. Same thing inside of this chest right here in the center. So it could be a normal chest or some type of other inventory like this dispenser. And then you also have an item frame, which will point to the same direction. But if we go through here and destroy all of these lodestones, which is what we did before, whenever it was in my inventory, those got completely unlinked. But if it is inside of another inventory that is not the player's inventory, they actually still link up to that location. And the moment that you pull this out of the inventory, then it becomes unlinked and will not be able to find that previous location. So you could do a pretty cool technique if you wanted to, say, leave a breadcrumb trail for players to get from one location to another. You could have a whole bunch of compasses pointing in the right direction. So here, let me grab a lodestone. So in this situation, what you would do is, let's say I wanted a sign that would point straight ahead, right? So then I could take a lodestone, put it behind where this is gonna go, activate a compass, put it inside, and then grab my lodestone because it is such a valuable item, but this still points in the right direction. Then at another point, I wanted a different sign. I can throw down a new sign, put down the same lodestone, link it to a different compass, put it in, and then destroy the lodestone, and it still points to where you want it to go, which is pretty neat. Now, if you are able to relink where that lodestone used to be, you'll be able to actually do that. So this center compass right here, if I take half of them out right here, you can see that these half, they don't point to anything because I destroyed this lodestone. Before I destroyed it, I put a block right underneath where it was standing. So if I place this lodestone back, before I pull these out, the other half of these compasses will all link correctly still, which is kind of interesting that you can have some that do link, some that don't link, as long as you put that lodestone back where it belongs. All in all, do I feel like the lodestone is a revolutionary block? Probably not. I wish that it was a lot less expensive to get. I feel like it would be used a lot more often if this could be crafted with just maybe some chiseled bricks and some redstone instead of a netherite ingot. And if that was true, then I could see the lodestone being used a lot more often, and people would truly use it as it's intended to mark bases and to keep their compasses in their inventory to find them later when they go exploring. But since the lodestone is such a late game item, I don't really see people doing that. I mean, at the point that you actually get into the nether or are at netherite level gear, you putting down a block to mark where or how to get out of a location seems a little bit overkill, and I don't think that a player at that level of game would need it. They've probably made maps. They probably just have memorized their world, that sort of thing. This seems like an early game thing to have a compass that points to where you want to go before you've memorized how your world is laid out or explored very much. And this is such a late game thing that would like never happen. And that about wraps it up for everything about the lodestone. If you happen to find one and didn't know what the heck this thing was, I hope that I answered all of the questions that you may have had about the lodestone and the lodestone compass. Thank you so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights are all covered, and now even Let's Plays are covered here on OMG Craft, so make sure you subscribe for more. And also, once again, a big thank you to those of you who are YouTube members. Thank you so much for being a member of this channel. You guys rock. I'll see you around in the next video. Bye!